the 24th, 1967. The person talking to you was in Edson from 1912 to late 1914, and now resides at Bannervallum, 45 The Grove, West Wickham, Kent, England. I am now in my 78th year. As you are no doubt aware, the town then was a pretty wild one. The bank was by the depot, that was where I worked, and the fittings were of rough timber. The only branch in which I ever worked that I recalled, there was a cuspidor to accommodate the customers. The money we paid out to the railroaders and the construction workers was enormous. Right opposite to the bank was the derelict remains of a fire which burned down the red light district a little time before my arrival. In those days we used to charge 1% for cashing many of the construction checks for the Jews, who in turn charge anything from 5 to 10% after the man had made a purchase. Yet to us they complained bitterly because they had to pay 1%. At that time, Mr. Ray Sparling, just married, was the manager, and Mr. Hope's son was the junior. Mr. Hope then ran a hardware store in the town. The Greggs were very kind to me when I was in Edson, and of course I knew the whole family. I spent a harvest leaf with them when in the army in the summer of 1915. The harvest was chiefly playing tennis. Whilst the time that I was in Edson, with such a wild and wide open town, I met some of the finest characters and spent some of the most enjoyable times there. What I liked about Edson was the climate, the long summer evenings, the most gorgeous of sunsets, the views of the mountains, both morning and evening, and I've never seen the northern lights so brilliant as when there. Of course, then there were no roads except the corduroy one leading to the Peace. Our way out of town was to borrow a pump car at the GTP and pump a party up to the Big Eddy. Several times we did this. In the winters, I spent much time curling and skating, and one year we won 3 cups. Our skip was a young fellow named Sloan, who was with the GTP, and a Mr. Fife. McNabb and myself made up the team. Mr. Garriott was then postmaster and ran the Edson leader.